Hello, everybody. Joe Big Donuts here, and welcome back for another episode of Muv-Luv Alternative Total Eclipse Imperial Capital Burns. Where last we left off, shit's finally hit the fan. Really quickly, too. A lot faster than I had anticipated. I thought we were going to do more training, school, slice of life stuff before, going into the deep end, but just like real life, the deep end waits for no one. They got fucked over. And now, they've lost, like, the southern two islands of the Japanese home islands. So, that sucks. Goodbye, Kyushu and Shikoku. At least I think it's Shikoku. Is the name of that fourth one that no one remembers. Because nothing really happens there. I think it's got, like, one big city, but it's not like a total backwater, but it's just kind of like one of those places where it's like, yeah, there's not much there. It's like fucking Indiana or something. Like, yeah, it's not like a complete nothing, like frontier, it's not like driving through like unpopulated Montana, but there's also not really anything super important or cool there. Like, that sounds a little too mean. I'm sure there's plenty of cool stuff there. But, compared to, like, everything else on a national level, it's just kind of, like, entirely mediocre in a, like, non-pejorative way. Be like, yep, it is a 6.5 to 7 out of 10. Like, cool. But also nothing, like, extraordinarily interesting. So, nothing has been lost to the beta invasion. Anywho, sorry about the delay in episodes there. I'm getting fucked over this week. From nobody's fault besides my own, of course, because I had house hunting stuff to do this week. I stayed up late to go look at houses, and I stayed up late to talk on the phone with the mortgage company to, see about getting pre-approved for like a conventional and then FHA through like a different lender than my bank, which I got a VA already approved through. So it was some nonsense. Just on the phone, doing paperwork till like fucking 3 p.m. when I'm supposed to be in bed by like 10 or 11. So I pretty much did that, slept all day, so I never recorded the past like 2 days. And now today, you can also see I'm recording this a little bit late because this episode is going to go up probably towards like 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, of course. Because I tried to go to sleep today. I actually should still be asleep for like another like 2-3 hours. However, I am having like my insomnia arc right now. It was really warm today. So that made it harder to sleep. They're doing construction down the street. So all I heard was like the banging sound of like dump trucks for like 3 hours when I was trying to sleep. And then I got really thirsty. When you wake up and you're like bone dry and you're like, I just need some fucking water. So I come downstairs and I drink some water, and it's like, I need more water. Like, I'm dying. I don't know what that was about. It's probably because last night, like over the past like 24 hours before I woke up to get water, it's like the only thing I had to drink was like a single Monster and like a medium coffee from Dunkin' Donuts on my way home, which is like a diuretic, so it just makes you more dehydrated in the long run. So that's my day. That's how I am right now. Is I'm awake, but I'm tired, but I can't go to sleep. Like, I lay down to go to bed, and I'm just like sitting there in the dark with my eyes closed, like still wide awake, and it's like, this just isn't happening. So here we are, me recording. So if I just like stop speaking like that in the middle of a sentence because I'm unable to think, that's why my brain is like fucking has holes and worms in it. I'm sure it'll all be great. It'll be fine though. Anywho, let's keep going, because I actually don't know how much longer. Like, this actually might be like a really short series. Like, we might only have like a couple episodes left, because just going by the Steam achievements, we're like 73% of the way through. There's only a couple left, because I was mentioning it last episode. It's like we were just getting boom, 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 achievement after achievement, like one after another for like story progression. So I was like, oh, fuck. Like, they're coming fast and they're coming often. So I don't think we're going to finish today, but within the next couple, I think that's it. I don't even think we're going to get to like 10 parts for this series. Like, very, very short. Which is fine, you know. I'm of the mind that I prefer, like, a clean, concise narrative, you know, told succinctly instead of having a rambling, run-on story where you just kind of start losing interest because you're like, okay, I get it. I fucking get it. I get what happened. We could have ended this, like, 12 hours ago, but we're still going. However, I also feel like if we only have, like, a couple more parts, it's like, damn, like, I thought we could do more with some of the school stuff and, like, the relationship building and all that. Because as it stands, it's like, yeah, I know, like, her teammates, and we know, like, fucking Shirayama, but it's like, but we don't really. It's like, we know things about them, but they're not, like, our nakama, you know? They're not us, the reader, you know, our fated companions, you know, bound at the heart. They're just kind of people we work with. And it's like, yeah, I like them. I don't want them to die. But it's also like if I see them getting torn apart and like being munched on by aliens, it's like, oh no, that kind of sucks. Oh well. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe I'll get more attached as we go on. You know. Let's see how it plays out, shall we? And read as good old Izumi here gets the news broken to her. That shit's fucked. Yeah, I'd probably be freaking out too.
Izumi? Izumi?
Yeah, watching the news is bad for your mental health. Or going by the phone off the receiver. Someone just told her. I see. A little gruff there for Yui. Sorry. I see. Izumi's boyfriend must have passed away. Don't make it sound so peaceful. He got, like, turned to fucking hamburger meat.
Izumi.
And that's why you don't date a grunt in the infantry. Izumi's heart ached with dread every time she saw news of the front. She would clasp her hands together and pray with all her might for her boyfriend's safe return. Izuna was isolated behind enemy lines, fighting a hopeless battle of attrition against the Beta. Still, she clung to the barest glimmer of hope. A light that now has been snuffed out forever, along with her last source of strength and comfort. Poor Izumi, to lose the one person she loved more than anyone. No, I shouldn't act like this has nothing to do with me. This is war. Days, hours, or even minutes later, I could be the one on the receiving end of bad news. Like, oh yeah, it's bad. Like, they said, like, fucking millions of people are dead. Like, it might as well be over.
Izumi.
If only the Beta hadn't come to Japan, she would have been spared from this pain. I will endure. After all, this is what I've been expecting all along. But Izumi isn't like me. She was never set to inherit her house. And she's not an exception. Almost all of my classmates were supposed to live their lives with their feet firmly planted in the civilian world. Something I actually struggled to come to terms with at first. Back when Japan was still unaffected by the war, I couldn't fathom why only some of us had to shoulder this burden. It was infuriating to see people my age being so oblivious to what was happening around them. Oh, yes it is. Oh my god. learning the fucking average, like, intelligence and, like, buy into the median voter and understanding of the world around them makes you, like, die inside a little bit. But as humanity retreated from the continent, and people my age were drawn into the conflict, forced to face the realities of conscription, it finally dawned on me how wrong-headed my way of thinking had been. Honestly speaking, I'm ashamed it took me this long to realize the error of my ways. It wasn't until so many others were dragged into service regardless of their will, until people like me were the majority, that I began to view things from their perspective. At first, the Royal Guard's conscription of minors was symbolic in nature, intended to send a message to society. Izumi and many of my classmates attended Yamayuri in the understanding this policy was little more than a cynical publicity stunt. But in the blink of an eye, Japan was thrust into total war, and their world was turned upside down. And I'm of two minds about conscription. Like, yeah, I get it's, like, shitty, and, like, honestly, service isn't for most people. However, like, I'll be honest, there's a lot of opportunities and learning lessons and, you know, personal development that it offers that a lot of fucking people could use. So that's like where I'm like, but then it's also like you can lead a horse to water and all that. It's like, okay, you can present them all the opportunities in the world, but if they don't want to engage, then they just fucking won't. And it's like, we're just kind of wasting everybody's time here. Wasting resources for subpar performance, and it's a fucking mess. I will leave the conscription fucking politics and discussions to you Euroids out there who actually have to deal with that. The simple pleasures of everyday life. Stopping for ice cream on your way back from school or talking to your boyfriend on the phone. Once commonplace for Izumi and others like her, are now a thing of the past.
一体どうしましたの？泉の言い名付けが九州の戦線に。
Womp.
そうでしたの。
It's like, ooh.
私のいとこ夫婦も鳥取に避難が混乱して。
Yep, everybody knows someone.
ねえ、部屋に戻ろう。
Yeah, let's get you to the infirmary and give you some psychotherapy, whatever thing they do for people like in this scenario.
やだよ。なんでただ道がこんな目に遭わなきゃいけないの？なんで
Yeah, by chance. That's how it happens. There's no reason for it. Is that a bullet casing? Strange locket sound. Like, that sounded like an empty brass, like bullet casing hitting the ground. Very hollow for a locket.
能登さん、これ大切なものなのでしょ？
Also, apparently not a grunt, because that was like a Royal Guard uniform, so.
泉、お部屋に戻ろう。
Cute guy, though. Shame he got eaten. Maybe if you're lucky, his brain's like in a tube somewhere.
これに対し、日本帝国軍及び本土防衛軍、在日米軍、国連軍は、舞鶴と神戸を結ぶ首都京都全面に三軍共同の防衛線を構築。日本海、瀬戸内海、大阪湾に連合艦隊を。
Woof. Oh, that's actually kind of hard to read. The battle rages on as we speak. There'll be many more victims like Izumi's fiancé in the future. Millions more.
任官の繰り上げって、やっぱりこれかな。
Yeah. I wonder, why am I feeling this sense of dread? Why are you stupid? Like, look at the
ま
TV.
たアメリカは第三艦隊の派遣を示唆しており、これに対し国連軍と大東亜連合は帝国軍司令部とともに
Now I understand why. There hasn't been a single mention of where the Royal Guard has been
日本
deployed.
帝国軍と本土防衛軍は
Probably at the
在日米
Imperial
軍
capital.
国連軍との連携強化に努め、ベータの投進を阻むべく
Digging in for like the final defense type shit. But why? Izumi's fiance was KIA in Kyushu. How is that not newsworthy? The Royal Guard must have fought valiantly to oppose the Beta's incursion into the mainland, in Ise, Izumo, and several other places. And yet their sacrifices seem to have not even been a worthy to even be worthy of a... Wait, that's kind of a weird sentence. Seemed to not even be worth a throwaway comment. There we go.
時代錯誤的狂信集団あるいは軍国主義の亡霊誠に遺憾ではあるがこのような事実とかけ離れた認識と警戒心が未だ他の帝国4軍、あるいは在日
It
米軍
seems real important to you, Yui, because you have like a
在日国連軍に潜在
close
しているのだ。
relation to it. But in the grand scheme of things, it's like, okay, cool, that's just one more unit of like the fucking 20 we lost today. Like, big picture, you know, small potatoes in the grand scheme of it all. It was always going to be this way. Long-standing prejudices won't fade away simply because war has come to our shores. Empire of Japan. Just the entire country as a whole? Yamashina Grand Bridge Lake Biwa Canal.
わしは京都に戻る。
お父さん、
お前たちは行け。京都が落ちたらどこに逃げても一緒だ。
お父さん、待ってください。お父さん。
Old man die if he wants. Tokyo, second imperial capital of Japan. Imperial Army Technical Arsenal
踏襲
Ichigawa
するベータに対す
Tokyo,
る我が
I
国
think
の
it said.
布陣は四重の守り。災害核である宮津、丹波、明石の第
Oh,
一
that's a
防
lot
衛
of
線を
text.
帝国陸軍中部方面軍の第17師団と第21師団、朝鮮半島から日本へ転進したアメリカ陸軍第8軍団を主力とする残存国連軍と大東亜連合軍の主力が固め、
Okay, okay.
舞鶴、篠山、神戸の第2防衛線を帝国本土防衛軍第10師団、帝国陸軍第
Kind of have
15
the
師団と
international
第
force take the
22師
brunt
団が主力として布陣。
while, you know, Japan actually digs in right behind them.
さらには帝国海軍海兵隊所属の A6J 一個旅団に加え、緊急展開した帝国陸軍第5師
Hey,
団
the
の
Wada
お
Sumis.
よび
Those are the
在
ones
日
I
アメリ
like.
カ陸軍を主
They,
力とし
they
た
remind me of like a
国
turtle.
連軍戦術機構2個師団が予備兵力
They're
と
the
して
big
展開し
blocky amphibious
万
ones,
全
I
を期
think.
しています。小浜、亀岡、大阪の最終防衛線を帝国本土防衛軍第
Obama
3師団および帝国軍第
Thanks,
18、
Obama.
20師団、そして帝都
Also, I
近
knew
隣の
about
絶対防
Obama
衛線
before. I think it's
京
like kind
都
of a
外
hot
郭高
springs
地
town.
および京都市街を増強された帝国
They
本
have
土
a
防
lot of
衛軍
tourist
第
stuff
1
with
師
just
団
like
および
President
この絵
Obama
軍第
on
1
it
連
because of
隊
the
およ
coincidence
び
or,
第2
you
連
know,
隊が預かっています。
naming there. So you see a lot of funny merch from coming out of there.
絶対防衛線の西南域に広がる丹波高地一帯には小型種浸透対策の山岳地雷隊、長距離支援用の砲撃陣地を設置し、レーザー属種照射誘引範囲および面制圧の有効範囲でその全域をカバ
Mhm,
ー。
mhm.
加えて嵐山、桂、三部、二条城などの常設基地以外にも
Well, at
仮
least
設
the
の
lake
駐
is
屯
big
地
enough to
補
actually
給
get
基地が
the
全域一帯に配置。
get the Navy in there to
奈良、
provide fire
大阪
support.
市街の仮設基地、砲撃陣地と連携し、ベータの物量侵攻に対処する算段となっています。
Cool.
加えて、帝都背後の琵琶湖には、 帝国海軍第2艦隊の戦艦3隻、従順9隻、支援ロケット砲艦14隻のほか、アメリカ第7艦隊が控え、琵琶湖沿岸西部から伊賀にかけては中部関東から抽出された戦術機構部隊3個師団相当がその守りを固めています。また九州、四国、中国地方での戦訓が生かされ、各戦線間のエリア、主に平野部には戦術機構部隊用の野戦補給コンテナが多数
Get the supplies in the field so that way you don't have to worry about, last minute, like, oh fuck, we're on the timer resupplies.
さらに舞鶴沖の日本海、大阪湾には連合艦隊と国連太平洋艦隊が展開し、柔軟で機動性の高い状況対処によって丹波高地砲撃陣地軍がカバーしきれない戦域の長距離側面支援を担っています。以上です。生徒の避難状況は？軍人と軍属を除き、現在京都市内に残っているのは作戦を支援する政府機関職員、報道関係者、自力避難が可能な武家衆の屋敷森などです。
Very cool for keeping the members of the press. However, they should probably leave too.
一部を除き、民間人の退避はすでに完了しています。
一部避難を拒んだ民間人か。
Yep.
はい。捜索と
They made their bed, they can lay in it.
本日一休丸々をもって打ち切るとのことです。
作戦遂行に追われ、今は一兵たりとも惜しいということか。
Yeah, those people want to die in their own homes and they had, ample opportunity to leave. Let them.
は、失礼します。
やれるだけのことはやった。
Yep.
厳しい戦いになるな。
Made your plans, now let the chips fall where they may.
ゆいちゃんよ、マサタダとセンナさんを悲しませるなよ。
Yep, that's certainly Kyoto. The disquieting calm, how uncomforting it is. A tired, big, bustling city with no noise.
ただ道はこの時間が好きだったな。世界が淡い藤色に染まる夏の黄昏前が一番好きだ。
Whenever I see something like that, all I can think of now is like the free run meme with like him of a hero loved $1 margaritas at Chili's.
ところで
Shit like that.
次の休暇は2日間だそうなので、ようやくそちらに戻れそうです。もし教練の合間に少しでも都合がつくなら会う時間をください。今私は泉と一緒にもう一度思い出の場所を歩きたいと思っています。
Whatever you say, lover boy.
なぜなら私たちの生まれ育った京都を、泉の住む町を守るために戦うのだときちんと自分の胸に刻みつけておきたいのです。大陸の戦況が芳しくないという法に触れるたび、
Man, it's a good thing we didn't nuke Kyoto in World War II, huh? If you don't know, it was one of the prime targets, but like the organizer had like his fucking honeymoon there, and he's like, that city's actually kind of like cool, has a lot of historical importance, so let's not.
その他にも
But then people kept trying to sneak it back into the list, and they had to keep fucking removing it.
心から思っています。近衛のくせに情けないと
One of those little like quirks of history, that kind of like brings like the grand narrative down to like a personal level,
君というかけがえのない人を
of how
この手で
easily,
守るのだという実感を
things can be different
きちん
without
と
like
確かめたいのです。
I don't know, like the
それを得
I
られ
don't know
る
individual feelings of a
私は
on an
戦場で
individual level
チー
can
ムを
affect
目指し
grand scale things like that. I don't know where I'm going with this.
万が一ベータがこの国を脅かそうとも 不動明王のごとく優先してみせるでしょう。
I'm unfamiliar with that story. Did that guy die or
君
did
が
he
戦
live?
場に立つ必要がなくなるよ
Not Tadamichi here, but his Fudo Myo.
いつもの改札口で愛しい君が笑顔で迎えてくれることを願って
Whatever mythical, warrior that was.
ただ道
I was thinking bad thoughts there. I'm like, damn, doing a Tadamichi tribute, you're gonna fucking send him that in his DMs.
相模少尉は帝国軍博多守備部隊の山間部交代を支援するため宗像市内にとどまり続け、そこで戦死されたとのことです。遺体は確認されておりませんが、交代した帝国軍と接触した強行補給部隊がデータリンクのログを持ち帰ったとの連絡がありました。ご愁傷様です、お嬢様。
Womp. Damn, just from his butler too. Not even like his fucking mom or dad calling you, or like a brother or sister.
私を見つめてくれないんだね。
Nope, and that sucks. War sucks. People who think it's cool, they fucking suck.
私の方を撫でて。
There's some cool things about it, but as a whole, it's shitty.
泉はね、今日遊んでくれた忠道様のお嫁さんになるんだよ。
泉、お嫁さんになるの？
そうよ。
Political marriages and betrothals. Have fun.
仲良くしてね。
泉、忠道様のお嫁さんになる。だって忠道様
Well, at least it seemed like they actually liked each other, so that's a plus.
ね、お菓子もいっぱいくれたんだよ。それから忠道様のペットの猫も見せてくれたの。
そうかそうかそれはよかったな。泉は能登家の末姫だ。
そうね。
忠道、口から願い出た婚姻だって。
Yeah, it's fine. You can come to love somebody, and if you're lucky, feelings mutual.
あなたを愛してたんだもの。ありがとう。
I don't know, just chalk it up to cultural differences, though. I find arranged marriages kind of weird.
確かめられたよ。泉が戦う理由、確かめられたよ。
Love for love's sake and all that, instead of, oh, gotta marry into a good family, so that way, your husband can help fucking pay for us in retirement. Take care of us with his fucking job or whatever.
できるところまで。
Damn, fucking 100 plus chin-ups? That's actually, like, cracked. Are you going, like, all the way down to, like, fully arms extended, or are you just doing, like, little, fucking coming down 2 inches and then going back up? Because that's entirely different.
こんなの見つかってたら逆に褒められてたかも。
秋は女なんだから基礎体力じゃ俺にかなうわけないんだよ。
うるさいな。
Yeah, everyone's got their own story.
だから言ってるだろう。考えなしに動きゃいいってもんじゃないって。
うるさいよ。弟のくせに生意気なんだよ。
弟って双子に上下なんかないって。
わかってるってば。でも体が先に。
Also, there is a point where working out becomes counterproductive. You're just damaging your body.
だったらお前はさ、
And the healing
基本を
process
みっ
will
ちり
take,
叩き込んで
too long. And it's
考
like,
え
oh,
ない
you
でも
fucking
その
lost
通り
your
動けるよう
gains
に
because
す
you
るしか
shredded
ねえ
your
よ。
muscles.
だからやってるだろ。
It's all about incremental growth.
あんたを超えるために生意気なんだよ。
You can't go all out right from the start, otherwise you just end up breaking your body.
いつの話だよ。子供の頃は女の方が成長早いってだけだろ。
うるさいってば。私はあんたに負けるわけにはいかないんだよ。双子のくせに図体ばかり大きくなりやがって。
なあ、アキ。
You need to eat more then, you know, get
お前
big.
何焦ってんだよ。
Drink lots of milk.
岩見候補生、貴様何を焦っている？
別にいいんじゃないの？俺を超えようとしなくても。
ダメだ。私はあんたを超えなきゃダメなんだ。
お前は女なんだしさ。無理する必要ないだろ。
そっちこそ。
Yeah, a little casual, you know, misogyny from misogyny. What did I say? Misogyny? There we go. That's the word. Remember, brother. You know, just family things.
人より先に敏感しやがって。
そんなこと言われてもな。
異性が認知だって言ってたじゃないか。なのにわけがわからないよ。なんで大陸で戦死してんだよ。あんた家を継ぐんじゃなかったのかよ。誰にも言っちゃいけないってなんだよ。あんたの死は
Yep.
命にかよ。
That depends how you look at it. You could be, you know, offer all the platitudes and say, oh, it's for, you know, the war effort, you know, in the grand scheme of things, sacrifice is worth it. But sometimes people just die for no reason. And that sucks.
泉が羨ましかった。名誉ある死に様を見せて果ての言い名付けがユイが鬱陶しかった。
Oh, yeah, Yui drives me up the fucking wall, too.
何にも奪われてない
She's so impenetrable.
正論を言うのが腹立たしかった。島子が腹立たしかった。ユイを崇拝してまるで家臣のように振る舞うのが気に食
Now,
わな
Aki's
か
kind
っ
of
た。
spitting here.
でも一番許せないのは私だ。私は自分が大嫌い
Yep,
だ。
too weak and useless to actually do anything about any of it all.
翔太の仲間のこと、そんな風に思うことも考えるより先に体が動いちゃうことも、一度もあんたを超えられないことも、女だってことも。
Don't worry about it, Aki. There's just some stuff about us we can't change.
ないだろう。私がすぐしかあんたが残した記録まであと51回。
It'd be impressive if you did. I'm gonna assume you mean your brother's record, which would be very impressive just because of like the physical differences and like the muscular anatomy between men and women. Is like stuff like push-ups and pull-ups is a lot harder for them than it is for men, just because of the way we're built. It's like not from like a misogyny point, like I was talking about earlier, but like a physical, you know, anatomical difference between the sexes. Like, and of course, you know, that's not everything. Of course, like a woman who works out a lot is going to be able to crank out way more pull-ups and push-ups than just like a guy who doesn't. But the baseline level that they're starting off is different. But of course, like I said, it's different for everybody as well. So put your work into it if you want to get better, and you'll see results, no matter what.
まさかお父様お兄様だけでなく私までもこの制服に袖を通すことになるなんてね。
Yeah, but are you guys ready for that
お兄様
uniform?
が会見にいらしてからは女の子は武芸をたしなむものじゃないって言われてたの。お父様。
Now, there's martial arts women can be into. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, as far as Japanese martial arts go, like, the bow and the naginata are considered, like, feminine just by their nature for some reason.
聞こえてないから申し上げます。私は当時
I know the naginata for sure. I'm actually not sure about the bow.
島子
That it might be more
体験
unisex,
必要ないんじゃないかって
but who knows? Because everyone thinks samurai, like, oh, katana, but in reality, the samurai class were like elite mounted archers. So the bow was like their main weapon that they would train in. So it has a masculine lean that way, but also, you know, for like the, you know, quote unquote performative martial art for archery, then I'm kind of talking out of my ass for that part, but who knows? Who knows? I feel like I heard somewhere, or read somewhere, that it's considered more on the feminine side. Anywho.
正直に申せばお兄様をお恨みもしました。でもいつしか諦めがつきました。でもお母様、ここには高村結衣様がいらっしゃいました。
天井の市民がお化けに見える？まあ冗談でしょ？
違うよ、私こういうの本当に苦手で眠れなくなっちゃうから。
分かった。じゃあ上は私が使わせてもらうよ。
I prefer bottom bunk anyway, just because it's easier to get in and out of.
価格の例で冗談を譲っても
Like, if you wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, oh, fuck, I gotta piss. Like, you just want to be able to, like, get out of bed instead of having to, like, get to the ladder or, like, fucking climb down the frame of the bunk bed. Or, like, jump down in the middle of the night and wake everybody up, just go, dong.
あの日からずっとあなたの存在を感じながら
I've also definitely, like, rolled out of the top bunk of the bunk bed before, like, at summer camp. Like, it's still in my sleeping bag. It just ate shit. I'm surprised I didn't get hurt. Like, it's just kind of like one of those things you land on your back and you're like, ooh! But I think I was only, like, 13 or 14 at the time, so I still had that youthful, like, invulnerability where you just get run over by a car and you get up and brush yourself off and you're fine. You huffing some Yui pillow?
Yui.
Yeah. You're big gay.
Yui. Yui.
Hey, whoa. Let's keep it PG here. I played enough Arrogate to know what that white screen means.
でもいいんだ。他の人にどう思われるかなんて関係ない。
Yeah, it's okay to be like a perverted freak.
ユイにだけ必要とされていた。
As long as you're happy and true to yourself.
使えないって思われてるのも分かってる。かわいそうって思われてるのも分かってる。
Yeah, but if Yui thinks that about me, it turns me on, so that's actually awesome.
ユイのそばにいられるならそれでもいいんだ。私はあの服を着てユイに出会ったんだ。できればもう少し可愛らしい制服
Oh,
を
if
着たかった
only.
な。
情けない顔。しっかりなさい。
Yeah, you need to lock the fuck in.
ユイ、高村の加盟に恥じぬよう 国と民に尽くすのですよ。
はい、母様、ばあや、体に気をつけてね。東京に行っても母様と父様をお願い。
かしこまりました。ゆい様こそ
I don't think they're gonna evacuate.
ご分を。
では、
Oh, the Imperial Guard hat's so fucking goofy. I don't like it. The Imperial Guard and the UN fucking pilot uniforms are already goofy to begin with. Though I guess it's not specifically the pilot uniform. It's just kind of the UN fucking officer one, or not just officer. I guess it's just their regular dress uniform with the fucking pointy shoulders. I don't like it. Yeah, fucking drone strike the Reapers! Or the Beta, that was a Reaper drone.
レーザー照射警報発令。各部隊展開地域に飛行高度制限。
第22機動偵察小隊宮津南西約6000にて接敵。識別34系軍交戦を開始。
18E 軍および F 軍移動開始。予測目標姫路。
第114戦術機構中隊福知山市街にて接敵。識別 24T 軍交戦開始。
Lots of herds. And considering what we know about the story in the future, man, those 1, 2, and 3 defense lines are gonna get fucked up. The question is how they actually managed to push the Beta back into the sea. Because is like it just like a single wave of Beta making their move, or are there more like positioned back in like the, you know, the southern half of Honshu and like on fucking Shikoku and Kyushu? Because if it's just like the one singular wave, I suppose you just wipe them out and you win. Like, woo! They put all their eggs in one basket and you just kind of sweep them off the board. But it's got to be like a protracted, you know, fucking reconquest, and that shit's gonna fucking blow.
本来この基地は我が近衛と陸軍が共用する帝都鎮守部隊の外郭拠点だ。だが首都防衛計画による所属部隊の全面展開に伴い、首都圏に点在する他の基地や駐屯地同様、臨時補給基地として運用されている。つまり京都外郭高地西端に位置する当基地は最終防衛ラインに展開する戦術機構部隊の兵站を一手に司る重要拠点なのだ。兵站が軍における生命線である以上、補給基地の警護は重要な任務である。
That's why Napoleon was so effective. He had really good strategies and, you know, kind of revolutionized warfare. However, he was also a huge fucking nerd who loved logistics and fucking planning supply trains. And people who want to emulate him just want to do the big sweeping battle formations and don't actually fucking bother about, like, oh yeah, how do we keep our army fed? You know, how do we make sure we have enough socks? Though I suppose during that time period they didn't use socks, they used like foot wraps. But you know what I mean. He fucking had like the bean counting autism and just loved fucking numbers.
貴様ら信任にできることはこの兵站の要衝を守りきることだけだ。実戦経験もない、ましてや協定も満足に終えていない反学徒衛士には過ぎた名誉と言えよう。いいか、功に入るな。自分は足手まといなのだと常に自覚しろ。わかったか。了解。ブリーフィングは以上だ。別名あるまで詰め所で待機。なお貴様たちの戦域データリンクへのアクセスは制限されている。待機中は通信とバイタルモニター以外機能しないことを肝に銘じておけ。以上、解散。
I suppose in this case, you know, with the story, kind of the thing with Yamashiro is like, oh yeah, I really would have liked to know more about her, and that's kind of like the thing, is kind of like the relationship stolen away from you too soon, you know, by tragedy. You know, someone you really could have connected with, but now can't because of circumstances beyond all of your controls, and how much that sucks.
私たちだって任官したんだ。いつまでも学と兵呼ばわりするなっての。
That is my, you know, my media literacy take. Compared to being like, this story sucks because, you know, you didn't actually get to know her, and blah, 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 blah. It's like, why should I care? And it's like, no, that's like the point. That's the point, dude. In the lieutenant's eyes, a graduate of the accelerated training course is only worth half of a surface pilot, and nothing we can do will change her mind. Yeah, because she's fucking right. You guys are green as... I was about to say dog shit, but I'm like, wait, is dog shit green? I'm like, it can be. Like, gross green dog shit. That's what you guys are. But her frustration is understandable. As a member of a branch family of House Tokugawa, she must have expected a more prestigious assignment. Instead, she has been tasked with babysitting fresh recruits in a rear-line base to add insult to injury.
配属か。ただ道の敵。撃てると思ったの。
Nah, dude, keep my ass off the front. That place sucks. That's where people die. Don't you know that? The rear's awesome. That's where you're mostly safe. You know, you might occasionally get fucking missile barraged, but because it's the rear, you know, you got like air defense in place, you just shoot them down. Izumi's right in a sense. For all we know, we might not even get to sortie. Oh god, fucking too many syllables there. Arashiyama is a rear-line supply base. A position like this will only see action if the final defense line collapses. Even in that event, there's no point in enduring a siege against an enemy with overwhelming numbers. If the Beta draw near, headquarters will issue an order to withdraw, if only to preserve our war potential. At the very least, it means we won't have to fight today. That's the reason why the Defense Force is comprised entirely of freshly commissioned surface pilots like ourselves. Headquarters' thought process is almost too transparent. If you have a bunch of useless recruits, you might as well stick them in the rear. They can get a taste of what the battlefield is like, maybe even gain some experience, and no risk to themselves. I mean, headquarters is right, good on them. Instead of just fucking throwing you into the meat grinder. As a matter of fact, a squadron's commanding officer should have the rank of captain, while its component flight should be led by first lieutenants. But Yamashiro-san and I have been designated as team leaders under the supervision of First Lieutenant Kisaragi, and we're only second lieutenants. In the eyes of the Royal Guard's headquarters, our entire unit is worth about one flight of regular soldiers. Realistically speaking, that's a fair assessment. Not that it really matters. However, much of the upper brass looks down on us. We must rise to the occasion and live up to the standards required of a flight
仕
commander.
方ないよ。如月隊長の言ったことは本当のことなんだし。ゆい。でもそれって時間とか状況とかが原因で。
Yeah, you may be wearing the uniform, but you got a lot to do to, like, fill it out. It's like wearing your fucking dad's suit when you're a kid.
だからこうなったのは私たちのせいじゃない。そんなことを気にするのをやめよう。切り替えていこうよ。
Yep, just gotta do your best. Aki and Izumi won't change their minds, and it would be a fool's errand to try. It wouldn't matter what I say or what evidence I present. People will think whatever they want to think. No, those words were for my own ears. A solemn reminder that as long as I hold the lives of my subordinates in my hands, I must not stray from the righteous path of House Takamura.
そうだね。ちょっと気を張ってたからさ。後方配置で肩透かし食ったんで。
Everyone's got a part to play.
前線で戦っている仙人のためにも私たちは冷静でいましょう。小規模の取りこぼしが迷い込んでくることだってあるんだから。
I do like their like big puffy like winter coat armor more than like their regular you know suits. I think it's a good look. It reminds me of especially Yui's. It makes me think of like Char from, you know, Char's counterattack.
そうだね。いつか必ず必要とされる時が来る。今はその時までやるべきことをやって耐えよう。分かってる。大丈夫だよ。
Yep, get that tea. Are you a green tea or a black tea kind of person, Yui? Definitely green tea, because my samurai, my tradition. Seems like I couldn't convince everyone. Izumi's taciturn response, in particular, is evident. What could I possibly tell her? What comfort could someone who just lost their fiancé find in my words? Nothing I could say will ever mend the wounds in Izumi's heart. I wish I were like Yamashiro-san. With her attentiveness to the hearts and minds of her subordinates, I wouldn't find myself at such a loss.
随分落ち着いているのね、高村少尉。
山城さん。
あなた自身言ってましたわね。小規模戦闘に直面する可能性はあるって。
Don't get too comfy.
聞いてたんだ。つまりそれは死の8分に直面するということですわ。なのにその落ち着きぶり。
I mean, obviously it's like terrifying, but you know what happens is gonna happen. So best not dwell on it.
催眠薬物処置は全員受けていますわ。でもね、どうしても思考はそこに向いてしまう。私の正体も皆極度の緊張と弛緩に苦しみ、ピリピリしていますわ。事前処置だけでは足りず、ご催眠暗示か追加で薬物処置が必要になるかもしれないくらいに。
Oh yeah, once you like go into like a scenario where like, oh fuck, I could like actually die here for the first time, it kind of like, I don't know, it's weird. It does like a weird thing to your brain. You know, I haven't been like fully, well, I guess I got shot at a little, but I don't know. It's kind of weird to think about because it's like, they weren't really shooting at me. You know, they were just shooting at the flight path of our plane, basically saying we could shoot you down if we wanted to, which is also kind of weird. It's like somebody fucking pointing a gun at your head and saying, I'm not gonna shoot you, but just know I could if I want to. And you gotta be like, all right, cool. And just keep doing what you're doing. Like, very weird scenario to be put in. Or, you know, blown up at any time or whatever. You know, I could have died in a multitude of ways, but, you know, I didn't. So it's like, oh, okay. Well, that wasn't so bad. You know, they didn't even kill me. Great. That was easy. But then, like, you think about it, and it's like, huh. And then it gets, like, weird. And, you know, I'm personally, like, I don't have any hang-ups about it. It's just kind of, like, a thing that happened. And it's like, all right. I'm going to go back and do, like, my normal stuff now. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. But even if it does, it's like I said, it's just kind of like, no point dwelling on it. You know, what's going to happen is going to happen. So, you know, I'm just going to do my best to try not to, you know, let it happen. But, you know, just kind of come to terms with it as a possibility. And then just, you know, keep doing what you're doing. You know, just out of sight, out of mind. Just try not to think about it. Ha ha. Anyway. I guess I'm just kind of laissez-faire about that kind of stuff.
私も同じ。事前処置のせいか、自分の感情に妙に客観的になってしまって、後方配属に安堵している気持ちを見つけて、情けない思いを冷静に噛み締めているところですの。
So even someone like Yamashiro-san feels that way.
別に私だって同じだよ。不安だらけだし。
そう見えないのは。
No, don't chew on your nails. I just. My nails are finally like growing out. I don't know if you could hear it if I like click them on the desk. Let me see. Hold on. Let me stop talking. Yeah, you can hear it. Nice. Like, you can probably hear even better when I point the microphone straight down at it. I should probably go get like a manicure soon, to be perfectly honest. You know, kind of help reshape them. Because I'm getting the part where it's like, yeah, my nail's like at the right length, but it's like the white part at the tip for like some of them's like it's a little thicker than I would like. You know, get a clear coat to protect them. I don't know. Also, my cuticles are looking great now that I stopped biting my nails. I don't know what like clicked in my brain where it's just like, I'm just not gonna bite my nails anymore. And then I just didn't. It's like I started out with like the anti-bitter, like the anti-biting your nails bitter clear coat thing. And did that for like a couple weeks. And now it's just like, yeah, I just don't want to do it anymore. Yamashiro-san just praised me. Well, that makes me happy, deep down. I can't help but feel I don't even come close to her level. How am I supposed to react? Yeah, we'll think about the pre-battle treatment, so that way we get our, I don't know, our lore. It seems like the second option in these choices just kind of skips past that stuff, where it's like, yeah, I already know all this stuff. Don't worry. I just finished playing, you know, Alternative and Total Eclipse, so I don't got to worry about, you know, learning this stuff. But it's like, if you're like me and be like, it's been a couple years since I played Alternative, and it's been like a year or two since I've played Total Eclipse. Let's get a refresher. It's nice.
恐怖心や戦死者への干渉など実戦において英士が経験する激しい感情変化は適度であれば士気高揚につながる。だが得てしてそれは合理思考を妨げ作戦行動に支障をきたす。
Too wild of a variable. You know, might as well take it out of the equation.
そのような感情の振り幅を戦術薬物で抑制し、それを超える精神的混乱、錯乱や強行を誤催眠暗示によって制御する。それが事前処置である。これは極端な感情の起伏のみをノーマライズするため、状態で無感情になることはない。感情を完全に抑えることはむしろ不利益だからだ。だが本来の性格傾向が強調されるという副作用がある。その発言や程度は効果の個人差や精神状態の影響が著しい。だが任務遂行に問題を発生させるほどではないとされている。ただし A 氏が処置による制御状態となった場合、外見的には無感情傾向が顕著となる。そのため第三者には己を律して冷静に行動しているかのように認識される。
Nice, good for the media.
その際、制御下にある A 氏の主観は感情自体は認識しながらもそれを客観視する状態となる。例えるなら映画で感動しおえつしている自分の映像を見ている状況だ。その観察対象への嫌悪、憎悪などが原因となり、バッドトリップと呼ばれる激症反応が発現するケースがある。
Let's try to avoid those.
高村さん、正規配属で離れ離れになる前に正直に言っておきますわ。
What are you getting? Just water? I can't read the full characters. I don't know what the first one is, but I know that second one there is just water. What's this about? Why is she standing on ceremony with me?
あなたはあの3人を、いいえ、自分以外のものを心の中でバカにしている。いいえ、見下していると言った方が正しいかしら。
Yeah, a little bit. You kind of have a bit of a superiority complex.
山よりでのあなたを見ていて、私にはそう思えてならなかったわ。
That you're the only one who really gets it. I think others don't have what it takes. I hold others in contempt? That's preposterous. Not now, not then. That's not who I am. Rather, it's me who's been on the receiving end, time and time again. Oh, but now you're on your drugs, so you can look at it objectively and be like, oh, wait a minute. Wait, shouldn't our accusations upset me? Why am I so calm? Is it because of the hypnotic suggestions?
どうしてそう思ったのかな。以前の私にそっくりだったからですわ。
That's fair. Yamashiro-san and I are alike? No, that's impossible.
蛇の道は蛇とでも言うのかしら。無邪気すぎる同世代の言動に辟易としながら 距離を置いて生きてきた。あなたからはそういう弱い人に出会ったのは
Oh, sorry, Yamashiro. Didn't mean to cut you off there.
とても興味を持ちましたわ。
So, back then, that was nothing more than a facade? Back when we ran into each other in the convenience store, Yamashiro-san bought a copious amount of Monsieur Jardy Jardy to share with her squad. She did it because she cared about her subordinates, a small token of appreciation, out of consideration for them. At least, that's how it seemed to me. However, if the person I admire has indeed revealed her true self to me, she has elevated seizing other people's hearts and minds into an art form. So that's why Yamashiro-san used to spend her breaks alone. She only felt at peace when she didn't have to keep up the facade. Yamashiro-san was so focused on her path of self-improvement that she wouldn't let anyone come close to her heart, not even her fellow squad mates. I remember feeling a sense of overwhelming defeat as I looked at her, aloof and unyielding figure. If she speaks the truth, I may have been the one holding Aki and the others back.
でもあなたはいい子ちゃんの仮面をずっと被っていましたわね。そのせいで不当な評価を被っても、あなたはずっと平気な顔をしていた。
Yeah, you need to get angry and like fucking reprimand people more.
それはまるで自分に一部でも非があるなら、相手の理不尽は全て受け入れるとでも言いたげで、愚かな美学に酔っているかのようでもあって、私にはそれがとても痛々しく見えましたわ。
Yeah, like I've been saying the
だか
entire
ら
time.
私が助けて差し上げようと思いましたの。あなたと部を競い合うことでね。
Offer you, you know, an adversary to help you grow.
そして確信しましたわ。模擬戦の後、あなたがタオルを貸してくださったあの時に、ああ、やっぱりこの人は私と同じなんだわってね。だってあんな時間に強化装備のまま校舎裏にいる理由なんて限られてますもの。特に私たちのようなものはね。
Thinking back, everything makes sense now. Every time Yamashiro-san looked at me with those eyes, there was no malice or hatred in that cold glance of hers. There was only pity and a strong sense of determination.
高村さん、私はね、山城家に悪意を向ける多くの者たちを見返すために、今まで我が身を研ぎ澄ましてきたの。
She's right. We're one and the same.
私の家にまつわる噂話はご存知でしょ？
Yeah.
経済大名や成金などと揶揄され、山城の者は皆必死で武を磨きますの。
Because they're partially right. You know, so you gotta kind of prove yourself a little bit. Much like me, Yamashiro-san's sights were set beyond her immediate surroundings. To protect the honor of our respective houses. That was our motive, different from everyone else's.
だから私も中等部までは全教科で首席を取り続け、それを鼻にかけることなく、皆に対してもいい子ちゃんを演じきりましたわ。山城をバカにする者たちに、山城より劣ることを身をもって思い知らせる。それが私の、いえ、山城に生まれた者が背負う復讐でしたの。
Revenge? Is that what I've been seeking all along? Revenge? No, I refuse to accept that. Labor in silence and let our deeds inspire the hearts of men. That's what I've been told my entire life. Well, yeah, as they say, like, living a happy life is like the best revenge and all that. So, by doing your best to succeed, that is your way of getting revenge on everybody. So, in a sense, she is right. It makes you feel good to show everybody how awesome and cool you are. And like, really stuck it to them, I'm so awesome. You know, you don't think about it like that on the surface, but like underneath, like, yeah, that's your fucking thought process. Whatever Yamashiro-san might have lived through in the past, I don't share her experiences, and I don't share her perspective. Revenge is not, and never will be the way of
も
Takamura.
ちろん二人の兄も山城のものとして行きましたわ。私はその背中を藩として追うのに必死でしたけれど。
山城さん、お兄様方が？
ええ、二人とも近衛の大陸派兵に志願し戦死してしまいましたけれど。
Wipeouts. What? Really?
そうだったの。お気の毒に。
それがおかしいんですの。
おかしい？
その時私は二人の兄を失った時、
I mean, yeah, a dramatic shift like that tends to put things into perspective. I'm not sure why I'm hesitating so much, but it's something I have to ask.
気づいたって何？
This sense of dread again, like I'm about to stare into the abyss.
私気づいてしまいましたの。自分自身が戦う理由、何も持っていなかったってことに。
Mm-hmm.
身内の死というごく個人的な動機ができて、初めてそれに気づくなんて情けないにも程がありますわね。それ以来いい子ちゃんの仮面は捨てましたの。戦う理由を手に入れた私
Good for
に
you.
はもう必要のないも
I'm
の
glad
で
you
した
kind of
し。
reached that, you know, self-reflective state, you know, that personal like actualization.
そうなんだ。
I was under the impression Yamashiro-san and I were similar. This sense of empathy, as well as my feelings of envy, manifestation of my shortcomings, were proof enough. But if this is the real her, free from any pretenses, does that mean I am the same way as well? Could her words explain why I don't know how to console Izumi in her moment of grief? Because much like Yamashiro-san of days past, I don't have a cause to call my
ご
own?
めんなさい。余計な身の上話に付き合わせてしまいましたわね。
別にそういうの大丈夫だから。
私も事前処置にバッドトリップしているのかしら。
Oh no, you would know. Utter silence.
さあ、あなたはどうかしら。
Almost as if she's prodding me for an answer.
私はそういう山城さん、やっぱりすごいなって。
Yeah, you're so cool and pretty and capable.
本当素直に尊敬する。私が同じだなんてなんかおこがましいよ。
It's like, there we go again. You're being like really non-committal.
私はそんな大層なものじゃなくて、もっと薄っぺらいっていうか、なんかすごく鈍感なのかも。
And kind of like self-deprecating to deflect. She's looking at me with such kind eyes. I wonder, when was it that she stopped giving me that look I mistakenly interpreted as contempt? Our relationship must have evolved at some point. Yamashiro-san wouldn't confide in someone who inspires only pity. She's bearing her soul to me, and, much to my shame, I couldn't respond in kind. I didn't lie to her, but I didn't tell her the entire truth either. To be frank... Oh god, air's so dry. I'm dying. Ugh. To be frank, I myself don't quite know how I feel. I was being honest with her in a sense, but you weren't being honest with yourself, and that's the fucking issue, Yui. Now that Yamashiro-san has revealed her true self to me, I'm hopelessly confused. Thanks to the pre-battle treatment, I'm supposed to be able to be rational at all times, but there's a fog in my mind that just won't clear. This is the first time in my life I've found someone among my peers I can honestly speak my mind with. I used to think I was the odd one out, but after my conversation with Yamashiro-san, I finally realized that I'm not alone. There's someone else out there who shares my worries and my ambitions. That alone fills me with joy. Someday, I'll surely reveal to her what lies inside my heart, the whole truth, without any embellishments. But not today. Yeah, not today. You know, we'll do that later, you know. Not right now, though. When it matters. Because right now it's kind of hard, and I don't like that, so I'm just not going to do it. But today is not that day. I'm sorry, Yamashiro-san. I need time to process my thoughts. First, I need to come to terms with my own feelings. Find my own way to articulate what drives me. Yamashiro-san's words shook me out of my complacency. Sorry, I'm just making up words here. I'm glad we met. I'm truly grateful to her from the bottom of my heart. So, just like that day when I took the first step and our lives intertwined, I'll keep walking, with every step I take bringing us closer together, until the day comes when I can lay my soul bare to you.
山城さん、何かしら?
What I'm about to do must be in no small part thanks to the hypnotic measures.
私たち
Yeah, it's like when you're drunk a little, so you're able to say the things you really feel. Kind of removes that filter.
そろそろ名前で
No,
呼び合わ
she doesn't fucking respect you. You're fucking pathetic, Yui. She doesn't want to. You're not worthy of being her friend right now because you don't get it. Oh my god. I must be blushing up to my ears. And the silence is only making it worse.
そうね。心を通わせた者同士であれば、名前を呼び合うのも悪くないですわね。
Unless she's being kind and like, okay, now that we got our foot in the door, you know, maybe, you know, if we make it through this, you know, we can fucking pry your, like, protective shell off so that way, like, the true you can come out. A deeper emotional bond. Come to think of it, Yamashiro-san calls everybody by their family names. That means I'd be special to her. But also... Yeah, you're not ready. I knew it. Of course she wouldn't agree outright. That was too forward of me.
まったく自信家なのか忘れっぽいのか。私たちまだ初陣前ですのよ。そういう約束は縁起が悪いと相場が決まっていますわ。
I mean, that's fair.
だから今はやめておきましょう。
Did she say... she did say for now, didn't
でも
she?
いつかそう呼び合える日が来るといいですわね。
Yeah, someday, when you're ready, Yui. Because right now, you just kind of like be basking in the glow of it. Because of like what you think about her instead of like the actual like human connection you've made. You'd more be into the idea of Yamashiro calling you by your first name than, you know, actually fucking bonding with her and having that connection. Which means you're not ready for it.
山城さん。
What a relief. For a moment, it seemed like she was entirely against the idea. Good thing I was administered pre-battle treatment. I would have lost all presence of mind otherwise. But there is hope for you. She's not abandoning you outright. But you need work. But once again, her words have me thinking about the differences in our mindset. She didn't actually say this out loud, but the question in both of our minds, whether we'll survive the 8 minutes of death or not. We stand at a critical junction. Our first battle could happen at any moment, and yet here I am, lacking any sense of urgency. Maybe that's one of the reasons why I fail as a squad leader, why I can't properly connect with Aki and the others. Though I must say, it's rather surprising to see Yamashiro-san pay heed to superstitions. Perhaps a healthy dose of wariness helps her to maintain her tension and self-discipline. Or maybe she actually opened up to me. Now, Ashira-san, a model of composure and an honest-to-God prodigy, is actually worried about tempting fate. Surely, that's one aspect of her personality not many others know.
やっぱり今日はあなたも私
Yeah, it
も
must be
変
the
ですね
drugs.
事前
Damn,
処置の影響バカになりませんわね
Yeah, almost like we're in a literal altered state of mind and our brain chemistry is all
こんな
whack.
風にはならなかったやっぱり精神状態や状況の影響が大きいのかもね
Yep.
そうですわねもともと効果や影響に個人差が出やすい不安定な技術だからそれにしても能登さんのあの様子心配ですわ事前処そうだねいろいろあったばかりだからね
A surface pilot's vital data is remotely monitored via data link at all times. If there's something abnormal about Izumi's condition, the first lieutenant should be able to take measures while we're still on standby. Then again, assuming Yamashiro-san was Izumi's flight leader, would she just stand by? Or would she, acting as a commander, handle someone in a similar situation?
ごめんなさいせっかく一人になれたところに長々とお邪魔してしまいましたわね
そんなことないよこちらこそ気を使わせちゃってごめんなさい
私は先に戻ってますわ
All you do is make people worry, Yui. You think you were putting off the, veneer of, oh, I am so composed and professional and have everything together. But anybody who actually knows anything about people looks at you and it's like, oh, you poor pitiful creature, you fucking wet cat of a girl.
ありがとう
まだ1日目長くなりそうですわね
Yep, rest up when you can.
人は自分がそう思いたいようにしか理解しない。だから一つ一つを考えすぎたり気にしすぎたりしなくていいんだ。
At the same time, Tokyo, second imperial capital of the Japanese Empire, crisis management center, prime minister's residence.
このオプションはないと総理は言ったはずだ。何を今さら
Maybe.
派遣されている第7艦隊司令の個人的な配慮です。
個人的な配慮？
かねてから親交のあるこちらの八雲長官宛てに内々に通達がありました。無論本国の命を受けてのことでしょうが。
What, they're talking about, maybe dropping some G's?
第7艦隊司令、久世提督か。日系人を使った皮肉の間違いではないのか。久世提督の父親は確か第442連隊か。
I don't know. I don't know what that means.
は流血をもってアメリカへの忠誠を証明した。
Gotcha, the American ones.
日系人の末裔です。
They have like one of the like highest fucking like performance records in like I'm pretty sure they're a Marine unit, like U.S. military history. Like they were out fucking standing.
その血を継ぐ者が同胞の未来のために流血を伴う救済策を携えて先祖の国に帰ってきた。
Which is, even more impressive considering the whole, internment of Japanese citizens during World War II and a complete violation of their constitutional rights. Like, fucked up, no sense beating around the bush. Like, that was bad and shouldn't have been done. And part of probably their performance is, like, obviously I can't speak for them because I've never been in the same situation, but, like, it's easy to kind of see an angle of it if, like, performing to prove their worth and their Americanness to the country as a whole, and like weird socio fucking shit like that. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm gonna not touch that topic. I'm not educated enough to fucking have an opinion. or like make like a declaration on their behalf. I don't know, read a book, read like someone who's actually fucking researched and like done papers or whatever, and make sure to cite your sources.
それを皮肉と言うんだ。
未曾有の天災が重なったことは誠に悲運ですが、こうなった以上現戦況を覆す手段を講じなければなりません。レーザー属種以上の脅威は押し寄せるベータの物量。このまま京都が陥落すれば東海、いや関東まで一気に押し込まれることになるでしょう。
Kanto, that fucking shithole. We're going to Tokyo? Ew.
台風4号とベータの猛威によって引き裂かれ麻痺した防衛
Fucking kill me
体制。
here.
ベータ支配地域に孤立し抗戦を続ける多くの部隊、その補給と兵站による海軍の損耗。我が軍は早急に体制を立て直す時間を稼がなければならないのです。
それは百も承知だ。だが
朝鮮半島南端はすでに10レーザー市の照射圏に飲み込まれ、候補地とはなり得ない。長官、北九州がそうなってからでは手の打ちようがありません。軍事的にはもちろん国際政治的にもです。極東防衛の要を謳いながらたった数日で国土の3分の1を明け渡し、軍事的混乱を続ける我が国への失望、諸外国に限った話ではないでしょう。
I mean, you won't have time to worry about that because the country's gonna be fucked.
国内世論もさることながら与党内部にも公然と政府を非
I
難
guess
する
they're
者
just
たち
saying
が
things would like collapse even faster at that point.
そんなことは分か
It'd
ってい
be
る。
entirely fucking entire countries in free fall.
だが敵の支配地域には未だ多くの友軍部隊と逃げ遅れた国民が残っているんだぞ。最前線では多くの
滝本さん、総理を説得できるのはあなたしかいない。すでに各国から日本の対応に非難が出始めている。オセアニア諸国が帯同するのも時間の問題。そうなれば
日本は単独の継戦能力を失うことになる。
Yes, but you'll survive.
今我々が国土を失えば日本が整備した海外インフラは諸外国の管理下に置かれ、日本以外の戦いのために使われることになるでしょう。それは榊首相も望んでいないはずだ。滝本さん、あなたと私は同期当選、同じ1年生議員の釜の飯を分け合った仲じゃないか。あんたが腹を切るときは一人では行かせない。
Yeah, right now the country's got its fucking leg stuck in a bear trap and you're bleeding out, so either you fucking cut the leg off and, you know, tie it off and survive, or you just stay there and fucking bleed to death with the beta.
候補地は
滝本さん、ありがとう。
まだ納得したわけではない。候補地の説明を。
いくつか案がある。まずは小倉だ。今時侵攻における最大の上陸継続地点であり、九州と中国地方の侵攻分岐点だ。
Okay.
次に倉敷と尾道、四国への侵攻分岐点。戦況次第では鳴門も候補になる。
Alright, so either hit the biggest massive beta, or hit one of the choke points and funnel them all to the other
基本
one.
的に今の2案を中心に情勢次第でオプションを検討という
Either
のは
reduce the number or shrink the size of the front, so that way it's more manageable. Or all of the above if we have the resources.
やれるだけや。
滝本さん。
だが総理は第三の道を決断する場合もある。その際はよろしく頼みます、八雲長官。
は、必ずや。たとえこの手でルーズベルトを沈めることになろうとも、必ずやアメリカの核攻撃を阻止してご覧に入れます。
それもまた皮肉な話だな。前大戦より数十年、そう同じくする盟友同士が、この国で矛を交えることになるのか。
Several hours later. Service pilot ready room. Oh, you got the alert.
皆さん、お聞きになって。
Wait, hold on, Yamashiro-san. You'll have to wait until next time because this is where we're stopping the episode because I need to get it processed and uploaded and save the big battle for next time on the next episode of Muv-Luv Alternative Total Eclipse, the Imperial Capital Burns. We will reconvene and probably go on the sortie and fight the beta and win and woo! We'll do all sorts of fun stuff. Just ignore all the horrific casualties that will happen along the way. But like I said, that'll have to wait until next time. So once again, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and notification bell, and check out the Discord link in the description down below. Remember today, and we'll see you all next time, where you'll hear me ramble on more. I probably wasted like half this episode just talking and monologuing and rambling. So sorry about that. If you don't like that, oops, my bad. But yeah, it's probably gonna happen more even next time, or maybe not. Maybe I'm just rambly today because I haven't slept well, so my brain's like fucking like off the rails, you know, just going wherever it wants to. Who knows? Find out next time if I do that again. Catch you later. Bye-bye.